Good morning, my friends. In my series of the element of the earth, today I am talking about the second part of the fourth element, fire. As I have said before, I will make it into two parts. Now, this is the second part. The fire, the components of the fire is called the triangle of fire because it has oxygen, heat, and the fuel. If any one of it is taken away, the fire extinguishes. This is the most powerful element of the earth. And we have seen that even during the creation, the fire was the most important element that created the earth and the various planets surrounding the sun. We have lava inside the earth, which is flowing continuously throughout the core, and the heat created by that fire is the cause of the rotation of the earth. As we have the fuels in the car, they move in motion when ignited. The same way, the lava inside of it is so warm, always boiling, hot, and at weak places it comes out. The lava, the fire, the heat of the earth is so immense that it creates certain stones into very, very precious stones. That is through the heat and the fire that they absorb. The same is with the human race. We have the fire within us. We eat the food and we say that it is consumed. It's burned inside our body. There is a fire for many things in life. The fire to achieve something, the fire of greed, anger. But there is a fire of knowing the Creator, which was so much in the initial stages of the human race. And gradually it has lost. We see people are not much interested into knowing their Creator, but they are interested only in the man-made various faith that human race has created around for themselves. Whatever they thought to be as a creator, they made it. Human beings, living beings, they create as a gods for them. This is not fire. This is greed. Greed and making people follow them for their personal needs, personal greed, to dominate, to rule. Whereas God never wants that way. Very few people, very few religious people who call themselves very religious, very church going or temple going or wherever religious places are there, very falsely they have understood themselves to be very, very religious because they go too much. No, not at all. The fire is inside of you. The temple of God is inside of you. Find God there first inside of you and you will find God there. The deeds that we do, everything that is there has to be a fire which should be very, very strong for the religious faith, whatever you have it. Every faith is so beautiful. I was once thinking about the breath that we take. We take one breath and then we leave it. It goes out. We don't stop it because we know the other is coming. The continuous breathing and taking out the breath we do as a living being because we know that the next one is coming. In the same way, there is abundance all around. Like air is in abundance, we know it will come. As long as we are breathing, one breath will go, the other comes. So is the abundance in the earth. Everything around us is in abundance. Why do we have to collect? Why do we have to just not leave? If we don't leave, the new opportunities won't come. If we don't change our mind and our thoughts and clean them on, the new won't come. Read, learn more of the scriptures. People say we don't read scriptures because scriptures are the only way when you can get the truth of life. As a child, I was fond of reading, and I grew up like that, looking after all the responsibilities of my family life. Going anywhere where my husband was posted as an army officer, raising up my child, everything was there. But one thing that I never left, though it was less that time, as my child was growing up, now I'm free, he's grown up doing his own work. So it's easy for me, more and more. I write so much. The thoughts come and live in a very beautiful place. It's like a heaven, Swarg I call it. And the thoughts are so good when it comes. It depends what kind of thoughts you get into your mind. And then you write. But after certain age, people should leave things, certain things. As we leave the breath because the new will come. Leave it. Be less involved in the worldly things and get more involved in the godly things, which people don't do and are not doing. All they are running about is the greed. Greed of money, greed of position, greed of more wealth, which everybody has to leave one day. Be more towards going to the biblical or whatever narratives you have in whatever religion so that your soul becomes more pure when it meets the Creator. Otherwise, you will be in the lower realms. You have not seen Him, so He will not meet you. That's for sure. Then, I was reading again the various monasteries and how beautiful I saw that in them there is in the nunneries and the monks that are there, they have this tradition of purifying themselves and making the fire inside them to be controlled. And in that, they make 4 rounds of the monastery. And the rounds, the parikrama that they make is known as Kora, in which, in severe cold, where there is a lot of snow around, they walk in the snow with very less warm clothes. Otherwise, they wear a lot of, in minus 30 and all that, they wear really loads of warm clothes, but then they don't wear. On top of it, they take a white linen cloth, dip it in the water, and wear it around them while walking. And 4 times they dip and wear. After every parikrama, every circle that they take around this monastery, they wet it and wear it again. Why they do it? Because with the body heat, that wet cloth is made to become dry. And that is how they control the magic of the heat. Because heat inside the body, if not controlled, it could bring disaster in the life of people. That is a very secret yogas that they do in the higher up Himalayas, where there are caves, and when only they are into that nunnery and they get initiated into that, only that they do. Not everybody can do. You have to be initiated into that. But everyone doesn't do it. But they can learn from that. How much penance people do to keep themselves, to keep the fire inside of them, to be in control. If you don't control that fire inside of you, it will be like a wood. And I was thinking of that also. That the tree, there are various trees. I live in a place in the mountains, higher up in the Himalayas. There are plenty of very, very beautiful trees which have been there for thousands of years. People cut the tree because they have bukharis in their houses, and the electricity things don't work much here, because even if you put all heaters around you, we don't have electricity problem here much, but electricity burners won't help you. You have a bukhari where logs are burnt in the winters. The very tree which was in the earth with the roots, it was taking the energy of the earth to grow up that tree. And when the tree grows up, it is cut. It could be used as a furniture, for making boats, and many more things. But the energy stays if it is converted into sofas or window panels or anything. But if the same log of wood is lit, the fire inside of it that was once living in the comfort of the tree as a potential energy converts into the kinetic energy, and the same fire that once lived inside the womb of the tree, the trunk of the tree, now consumes the same tree. This is what happens to us also. We have the fire of many things inside of us, and if it is ignited by other people or by yourself only, if your mind is not in balance and the fire is ignited and you ignite your own fire by certain things of life, by the greed of money, by position, whatsoever, could be the greed, could be the passion for people around, anything, and then the same fire will consume you too one day. Your families are broken because too much of wealth in the family brought broken homes among the children. They fight for the wealth. The same wealth that you had gathered so much for no reason became the fire to consume your home, your family, your children. They're fighting for the properties and they're fighting for the wealth which the parents have done wrong by making it so much. They leave this world without taking, but they leave behind a lot of legal problems for the children to face. And this is what happens. The wood does the same thing. It consumes the very tree which was once giving it the shelter. The same wealth, the greed that the parents have once gathered so much within themselves, for themselves, became the cause of fire in the family, and which consumed the relationships. The siblings hate each other, they don't talk to each other, they don't like each other, they are fighting legal battles with each other. This is what happens. The fire has to be controlled by the parents first, inside of them, so that they don't leave the fire behind. There are many things, because we now see that fire goes from the physical realm, it enters into the metaphysical realm also. There are times, and with people giving their testimonies also, that after certain meditations in their higher up Himalayas of the Buddhism also, that they leave so much, everything inside, even their body, they do not feel that it is their body. They leave it. Jesus left, a carpenter's son left everything so that he could give something to the humankind. Buddha left, being a son of a king, a very rich king of his times, left every wealth because there was another fire inside of him which was to be given to others. There are many yogas, many things that people become very different in life. They don't like things. They stop liking the worldly things. The serenity, the peacefulness of this place where I live has really transformed me into something. Though I was different also, writing and all these things were much in me, but coming to this place in Missouri where I'm living now, it's a swarg, it's a heaven. You leave behind so many. You don't like the hustle bustle of the metro cities that you have lived and born and brought up, and I've traveled a lot. You become so different. The serenity, the peacefulness of this place gets inside of you so much. And you then look at people who have greed and you look down upon them and say, what are they doing? Why are they doing this? All wrong. The nuns there, I was once reading about them, and they were giving the testimony of a particular nun who was deep into meditation, and then suddenly the lights came all around her, and the lights were so bright that right in front of them the nun was consumed and turned into a small piece of person, whatever was left behind. It consumed it. It finished it on its own. We know when there was an ascension of Jesus, there was light around him, and slowly it became so brighter around him that after a while the apostles did not see him. And this is a very deep study which I will share, and I know people who are into very intelligence of all this will understand it, that this, our body is a powerful, very powerful thing that God created, and we can do wonders with that if we don't go negative, if we don't have negative thoughts in us. The positivity can create so much. Many times you feel that you want certain things certain ways, and you think of it and do your prayers and meditations, and you see that things have started happening. It is taking shape. It is being created. This is the power with which God has created us. We have to understand the fire is the most powerful element. It is there. It is from the eternity. It is the beginning, and it is the symbol of the beginning and the end. Even when this planet will finish, which it will be eventually, it will be blasted into by the fire into small pieces, but every piece will become an asteroid and be all around with lot of fire inside it. And gradually, when they, millions of years, they still get attracted to get together, and then big chunk of land is created again. The creation has always been there, and the fire has always been there within that creation of the earth or any other planet in the universe. If you see, there are many planets, many life there, which you can, I'll give you the links for that. You can study that also. And in that, you will find the fire is the main component that destroys as well as creates. The human being in certain religions are burnt by the logs and by electric cremation, whatever it is. Some bury, some burn. I was once watching the cremation in a TV film about King Arthur, when he died. He was put on a this thing logs of sort of boat, and with a lot of hay over it, and then his body was kept, and then the one who was take over as the new king had from the when and then it was on the in the water, and then when it went little ahead, the next king was to take a spear of fire, and he put it towards the body, and the fire started off and it consumed it. Fire is purification, fire is consumption also, and fire is creator also. Many people I have seen, and a man used to come to my house, my father's house in Agra, and he was a very learned PhD, and we were small girls that time. And during the winters when it was really severe cold, this man would never wear anything but a little bit of like a lungi type stuff, and had a some stick with him, and walk around. That was, as a small children, we would be very fascinated. How come it is so cold? And then my father said that he is a PhD, a very, very qualified person, and he is the one who is doing penance. He goes to Himalayas, and he has made his body so comfortable with the cold that he doesn't wear anything, but still don't feel cold. He must be that time 60, 70 years old. Whereas I see people who are that old look so old, with their so much wrinkles on their faces and everything. And that man, I still remember, Sadhuji we would call him, that his face would be like glow, like reddish. And he had long hair. He used to make it like a bun over his head. That man is still in my memory. As a small girl, I would see him. And that remained. I never understood then as a child, but now I understood. The penance, the controlling of the heat within him, he had done. So there was no effect of heat and cold on him. So is it with us. The fire within us, we can control so that we generate only good things, say good things, teach good things, and become such a personality that when people listen to us or they sit in our company, they will learn something. I personally don't sit in the company where people talk foolishness or something politics or something about religion. This I don't like. I don't sit with them. I don't want to spoil my energy. The aura around you, do not sit with people and spoil your aura. Where they talk, and that will, because people who give up like this, they really can't sit. They will walk away because it doesn't suit them to be in the company of such people. You make yourself like that. Control the fire within you, and you see how much different you are, how much peace you will have, serenity inside of you. The fire inside of you will be in control, not to consume you or your children or your family or anybody else. Whenever people are in trouble, they'll come to you, take advice, or just sit with you, pour their heart out to you. Listen to them. Because they know the calmness and whatever peacefulness they want, they can get from you. Control your fire and remain good in life. Balance it. This was the second part of fire, and the last one about the space is left, which also I am writing about it, and very soon it will be coming. Do watch it. Like and subscribe my channel, Words of Wisdom Decoded by Anita Binipal, and I'm Anita Binipal speaking from Mussoorie. Good morning to all of you. beautiful sunny day today after a long time. And thank you so much for watching. Do subscribe, share and like it. Goodbye and God bless you.